Good evening, everyone,
Good
and
evening,
welcome to
friends.
yeah, welcome to another session of Candid Meena, and we'll be looking, into another interesting story where why Parambir Singh is being let off, and that too by the Eknath Shinde government, right? Of all, and is Eknath Shinde government also Uddhav Thackeray government? How can they let Parambir Singh off the hook? And how is he being cleared of all these offenses? So welcome Nina, welcome Pansy, welcome Deepika, Renu, um, Tara, and friends. If you do like our content, make sure to hit the like button and share it with your friends. And in this way, more and more people become aware of what's really happening, right? The dirt, which no one wants you to see, which mainstream media shies away from reporting, and also we have a lot of mainstream media who are very friendly with certain political parties, and that's the reason why there is no debate at 9 p.m. on the SSR case, also the Disha Salian case. There's no debate on the Jia Khan case as to why Suraj Pancholi was let off. So no one is asking questions and no one is questioning them with the so-called mainstream media, which we have been following for many years, especially before the discovery of social media, right? And it's only after social media, and especially after the death of Sushant Singh Rajput, that people have awoken, and people now, and Bollywood knows that they can no longer fool people, and that's how boycott Bollywood movement is now rampant. Yeah, it is over to you.
Yeah. So, friends, I was today listening to an interview, or rather, a commentary by one of the journalists, Shekhar Gupta, who used to be the editor of Times of India Group. Now, this man was speaking about Samir Wankhede and the way, how the whole incident about the Cordelia cruise and how he has been framed. And so he says that, see, the whole thing is a joke for him. He's saying that, see, just a few teaspoons of drugs were found. Now, the way he measures it and say, just a few, this thing, spoons of drug, MSD, and the other drug, cocaine, just a few teaspoons, you know, and these poor boys, they were caught. So he's saying, as a journalist, he doesn't know whether to laugh, at this. Because when he compares it to the haul of drugs found at Cochin Airport, in Cochin in Kerala, there were so many kilos of drugs, he's saying it is nothing. See, these are the people we should be scared of. Media like Shekhar Gupta are so dangerous to society. He's done a lot of harm. You remember the rigged awards for Filmfare and how he was forced to pay every actor money to perform? He himself confessed that the awards were rigged. So this man now speaks about Samir Wankhede and his team, and how they try to extort money from all these people. Now, not one word was spoken about Pooja Dadlani or SRK, whether they were the ones who initiated the the what you call the money, blackmailing money. So here, this man very clearly from the beginning, or I think in the beginning of his life itself, he would have only told lies. Because if I would like you to watch this interview of his on YouTube, he now speaks for the print, which is a left media, and you cannot even believe them with a pinch of salt, even a bag full of salt. You cannot believe that media. So he represents them now. So he's talking about the amount of harm. First, he starts with Ria. Can you imagine? That poor girl, poor girl. The way she was harassed, you know. and taken to narcotics this thing for questioning. The poor girl and her brother were put in jail just like Aryan Khan, for a month, and Shovik was put for over a month. What did they do? Nowhere a mention that she had a hand in what happened to Sushant Singh Rajput. Is this man a journalist? Calls himself an ace journalist or a veteran journalist? Shame on him. He's been involved in scams. The Bhopal gas tragedy is a very big, what you call a black mark on his career. These are the people you should be scared of. Those who are on social media should read this, should see this interview and criticize it on social media to expose this man. Is he saying that Riya Chakravarti is innocent? And what all he says, she's an actress, she is innocent. Anyway, this video is not about Riya Chakravarti and her brother. Then why the hell did you bring it up? On something of the Cordelia case, and you're talking about Sameer Wankhede. Why the hell did you bring up Riya Chakravarti and her brother? That itself means that you've got malicious content in what you're saying. And then towards the end, he's mocking the whole thing and he's saying, I feel like laughing. This Aryan's friend, Arvaz, merchant, had a few milligrams of drugs inside his shoe. I cannot help laughing, and I'm sure you will be laughing. What sort of journalism is this? And he wants us to listen to him. I was only listening to him because I wanted to see how many lies he can spin. Okay, so you look at this. With one stone, he tried to whitewash not only her and her brother, but also Aryan Khan. Okay, now he is speaking as though Sameer Wankhede has a history of corruption behind him. Right, okay, I'm also admitting now. Sameer Wankhede is corrupt. Let him prove that he's not corrupt. That is what his wife has said very clearly in yesterday's one of the reports. She has said very clearly, if he is corrupt, we will fight it out in court. We don't need it in social media. We don't need to show it in social media. So when the wife and the husband are prepared to say that they are innocent, what is your problem, Shekhar Gupta? Unless you're being paid by someone big, some big superstar, to say all this. Journalism stoops so low with these people, is all I can say. So many corrupt politicians in BJP. If it's two teaspoons, they can't hold him for that many days. There has to be many more than that. Absolutely. Sarki must be involved in framing S. Wankhede. Yes. CBI wouldn't find anything in SSR case, but they could find a few wristwatches at Sameer Wankhede's residence. Don't know whether to laugh or cry. And some money. See, today, having an amount like 25,000 rupees in your house is something you will find in every house, because you wait for some emergency may happen, you need quick money. Okay. Now, they found that amount not only in his house, in Yasmin's house, his sister's house, and also his father's house. So this is such a big crime.
Even 1,800
Earlier,
rupees.
we told you an incident where you scratched Madhuri Dixit's wall, and it was reported that money was hidden within the walls. Yeah, what did you say?
Even I think 1,800 rupees they found in Sameer's
Some
house.
shaving kit and all that. So they found very valuable material there. Yes. So now
Yeah.
moving on to the Eknath Shinde-led government in Maharashtra. Eknath Shinde government has dropped all charges against former Mumbai Police Commissioner Parambir Singh. The state government revoked the suspension orders issued against Parambir Singh in December 2021 and ordered the suspension period to be treated as on duty. The previous Mahavikas Aghadi government in Maharashtra had suspended Parambir Singh for indiscipline and other irregularities. The MVA government had also had initiated departmental inquiry against him. Talking about the decision to revoke Parambir Singh's suspension, Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis said the Central Administrative Tribunal decision has termed the departmental inquiry against Parambir Singh as wrong and has ordered the inquiry to be closed. Apart from that, he was suspended due to the departmental inquiry, and that has now been proven wrong. The order to withdraw Parambir Singh's suspension came down from the CAT, and so the Maharashtra government took the decision. Why was Parambir Singh suspended? Parambir Singh was dismissed as the Mumbai police chief and transferred to the Home Guard in 2021 after an SUV with explosives was discovered near industrialist Mukesh Ambani's residence in South Mumbai, and police officer Sachin Waze was arrested in the case. Now, Parambir Singh later accused the then Home Minister, State Home Minister, Anil Deshmukh of asking Sachin Waze to collect rupees 100 crores from hotels and bars in Mumbai every month, what they call Vasuri. Anil Deshmukh denied these charges and claimed these were Parambir Singh's attempts to escape action against him for the security lapses outside industrialist Mukesh Ambani's Mumbai house, where a bomb scare took place on February 25, 2021. Parambir Singh was also facing several extortion and corruption charges. A case of extortion was registered in July 2021 against Parambir Singh and 28 others, including 6 police officers. They were accused of extorting money from a builder. Complainant Ketan Tanna had alleged that Parambir Singh, during his time as the Thane Police Commissioner from January 2018 to February 2019, had extorted rupees 1.25 crores from him. Tanna alleged that Parambir Singh had threatened to frame him up in a serious criminal case. Another extortion case was registered against Parambir Singh at Goregaon police station on the complaint of a builder cum hotelier, Vimal Agarwal. Agarwal had claimed that he extorted rupees 9 lakhs from him for not conducting a raid on 2 bars and restaurants which he ran in partnership, and also forced him to buy 2 smartphones worth around 2.92 lakhs for them. The complaint alleged that the incident occurred between January 20 and March 2021. Now, India Today consulting editor Rajdeep Sardesai spoke to Mumbai Commissioner Parambir Singh, who answered these and many more questions. Now that the Ames report is out, does he feel indicated? Right from the beginning, we maintained that ours was a professional investigation. Cooper Hospital and our forensics team examined all aspects of the cases. We had submitted our progress report before the Supreme Court and couldn't find any fault with it. Yes, we feel indicated. There were some vested interests that wanted to discredit the Mumbai police in the middle of a raging pandemic. We've lost 84 personnel to COVID 19, about 6,000 have contracted the virus, the Mumbai commissioner added. Do you think Ames report brings the case to a closure? Forensic is major evidence, but it has to be corroborated. The CBI is a professional agency. I'm sure it will come to a logical conclusion. Was there any interference from the Maharashtrian government when the Mumbai police was probing the case? The Maharashtra government doesn't interfere or give instructions with regards to any investigation, he said. How do you respond to allegations from Sushant Singh Rajput's family? We had recorded their statement. They had also said it was a suicide before going back and filing an FIR in Patna to allege it was a case of abetment to suicide. But even they never said he was murdered, Parambir Singh said. Who are the vested interests you are referring to? Do you think action should be taken against them? There were several fake accounts on social media that were spreading hatred. The conduct of certain sections of the media is in front of the court, he said. Actor Ria had been in jail. Do you think that case should take different complexions now? An agency of the central government is probing that case. I have nothing to say. That case is not linked to our investigation, the police commissioner said. Do you think this trial by sections of the media should stop? A case trial can happen only in proper court of law where evidence is examined and both sides are heard. The trial creates and tampers with evidence and witnesses. What can I say? The truth has a habit of coming out, says Parambir Singh. If truth has a habit of coming out, Mr. Parambir Singh, all your lies should come out. At every stage, we have seen you threatening people. At every stage, right from Arnab Goswami to everybody, you have used your dadagiri just because Mahavikas Agadi allowed you a free hand. And to tell us that you had no say in what happened in the SSR case. Who were the duplicate police that arrived at SSR's doors the day he died. Who were the people who looked like Aditya Pancholi, or is that a clone of his? Who were the policemen who came in chappals? Can you clarify that? Was that also a part of your team? Or will the truth come out, as you say? Second part, the ambulance driver who came in the Congress ambulance, Congress vehicle, he did not have a uniform. He looked like a thug with a, with absolutely no name, name on his, on his shirt, not a uniform, and he was bullying the policeman in chappal. So, do your policemen actually wear chappals, or they have a code of uniform? They should wear polished shoes before they do their duty. How many lies, Parambir Singh, can you say? You've been running hither and skither. Okay? Why were you running if you were innocent? Why? What made you run from different places, hiding inside your house and all when a Republic came to check whether you were there? Why were you so scared of Arnab's channel doing investigation? And every time, see, any of the reporters of Republic channel came close to Waze, who was your lieutenant in crime, he would say, "Get out, get out, get out." Was the police building, police complex, his grandfather's? That anybody cannot go into it? Journalists can't go into that complex? Get out, he was saying. He was telling the journalists, get out, get out. Who was Wazi? Wazi himself was involved in that, what do you call, the dynamite scam, explosive scam. And he did not work without your permission. You were the boss. And your boss was Uddhav Thackeray. So all of you worked in tandem. And who are you to tell us that it was a suicide, or it was he died naturally, or he committed suicide? Who are you to tell us? There are many experts to tell us, right? But then, you are a very clever man, Parambir Singh. All the evidence was wiped out before the actual police came in. In every sort of packages, bags and things, you had taken out all the evidence. Everything. In plastic bags, garbage bags, and there were Bollywood makeup men coming in, trying to perhaps camouflage the marks on Shushan's face. There were actors coming in. And what was this man doing there? Bunty Sajde of Cornerstone. Was he discussing business with a dead man? Hello, but after Antila case, Parambir Singh has disclosed everything to NIA, ED and CBI. He has said Waze was reinstated on instructions from the Thackerays and Penguins. He must have had told more to the agency. It is very clear, Chirantan, the day Disha died, okay? The day Disha died, a day after that, Waze was reinstated. So it is very obvious that he was reinstated by the Thackerays to cover their crime. Now, what is our very famous Fadnavis saying? What is Fadnavis's relationship with Parambir Singh? Why is he protecting Parambir Singh? Is there some relation with him and BJP? Is his wife married to someone in BJP? Some big guy in BJP? Oh. And why is his son, Parambir Singh is a cop. Why is his son partying with Dino Moria types? So all this truth has to come out, Parambir Singh. However you try, however people shield you, however people support you, the truth has to come out, is what we, the public, say. Let's take some comments. Are they going to take on Republic TV also? Seems like high-speed action is going on to support Bollywood. Bullyweed control.
Yeah, I mean, a very interesting point is that Arnab Goswami has not taken up this story of Parambir, like, being let go of all the charges, especially since there is a lot of beef between both Arnab and Parambir Singh. I was quite surprised that he did not discuss this story in one of his debates at 9 p.m. So why is Arnab not, reporting on this particular story of Parambir Singh being let go just like that, right? Is there something, legally which he's not supposed to sort of discuss? Does he is it because of legal compulsion, or is it because of some kind of threat? So we really don't know what's why Arnab is not, reporting this Parambir Singh, being let go.
See, a lot of the times, Jaydev, what happens is that, see, they are funded by the advertisers. So these advertisers are very closely linked with these people, So perhaps he's scared of that, and without revenue, he cannot run his channel. So that could be an important reason why he does not mention certain things, and why he mentions certain things.
Because he was going very very hard just few months back against Parambir Singh, and even the likes of Thakre's.
Nor has he spoken about the Samir Wankade case.
Yes. So what's going on with Republic? I mean, suddenly, they don't seem to be reporting all these stories. Are they under
Absolutely.
some sort of pressure?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So let's take a few comments. Are they? How come Bollywood is so powerful that even BJP has kind of given up in front of them? Who is actually controlling Bollywood? Yeah, it's a very good question. Is BJP using Bollywood people as a sort of vote bank, right? Because they think that these Khans have a lot of fan following, and these are possible vote banks, and maybe these Khans will sort of campaign for BJP in next year's general election. So is that an
See,
angle
at
which the
least
BJP?
here I
Yeah.
would like to say, Jaydev, that see, I prefer a straight enemy, rather than an indirect enemy. Okay. I prefer someone like Thackeray's and Pawars and all of them, because they are your enemy. Now, here you have Fadnavis who's patting you on the back and saying, I'm not your enemy. But we know he's our enemy when he lets Paramveer loose. And he says there's nothing wrong with what Paramveer did. Who is he trying to convince? Is he trying to convince the devil? We've been watching what has happened in all these cases. You're talking about Disha Salian, you're talking about Jia Khan, you're talking about all these cases. What about Janvi Kukreja? Her case also. It happened during his tenure. Chirantan. CBI investigation is going on. Parambir Singh corruption case. Even CP Sanjay Pandey went to jail. Parambir just got clean chit in Maharashtra cases. He had also told about rupees 100 crores Vasuli. See, even Chirantan, nice points you are saying. But what I'm saying is, even if you confess, you don't become innocent. Years of harassing people, whatever it is, Vasuli, threatening, blackmail, everything, you are responsible for that. You have to pay for your crimes. And if nothing, karma will take care. So these are things that they should really be careful about. Meena ma'am, you've shared, you meditate regularly. Your clarity of thought, purity and drive show strength from higher realms. Your power is limitless, inspired to start daily meditation. Thank you so much, Divya. Yes, that gives me a lot of strength and clear thinking as well. Thank you so much. Welcome, Shreyasa. Always nice to see you. Republic, don't report about Samir. Arvind Kejriwal, Sheesh Mahal. Paramveer, the report of Times, who was arrested. Arnab looks compromised. See, even see when I'm just looking at the way Congress won in Karnataka, everybody in the mainstream media are now finding unknown qualities in DK Shiv Kumar, in Kharge, who I feel is just an animal, like animal, like he walks and brays, that sort of person who doesn't have any risk. And Siddaramaya, who is eyeing women all the time. So now what they're saying is, they are so loyal, The way, look at the politeness in DK, and look at the kind of loyalty that Siddaramaya has. He's pulling a chair for him, he's pulling a chair for Malika Arjun. So they are seeing unknown qualities that we've never noticed in these people. So when mainstream media wants, they can be very, very polite. Not once have they said anything good about Modi ji, or about Yogi ji, or Himanta Biswa Sarma. Why? Because they know these people cannot be touched. Okay, so every day, if you look at it, it's amusing. Actually, in Kerala, if you look at the Kerala channels, you should be ashamed to even call yourself a Keralite, because every channel in Kerala is abusing Modi ji, saying that, see, you went begging for votes, and what did you get? You went begging for votes on the roads of Karnataka, and what did you get? Except for one channel, and that is Janam. Janam TV is the only one who has stood with Modi ji. Now, see, if we don't like someone, yes, perhaps we don't like Rahul Gandhi or Sonia Gandhi, doesn't mean daily as a TV you keep on bashing them, right? You talk about what is good for your country, work towards that. Talk about that as a news channel. 24 hours, all the channels, you can imagine. In Kerala, there are so many channels: Manorama, Asianet, so many channels. All these channels are bad mouthing Modi ji. They feel that is the way to success. And everybody knows, like you would have seen this thing. So, one thing we have to realize is that, let us be fair, he fought a war in Karnataka, and they've given in. He has himself congratulated Congress and said that, well done. Now that you're in power, do well. Never once has something come out of Modi ji's mouth, right? So why are we bad mouthing him? Now, Avina says, what happened in Karnataka is unfortunate, but I still feel BJP won. They didn't compromise with ideology. Modi cannot make dead brain alive. When people want free, he cannot dream of Atma Nirbhar. Absolutely. Looks like Thakres and BJP would soon be allies or join hands in some manner, the way things are going. See, and another thing is, we found Aditya Thakre at the engagement of Pariniti and that up guy. Okay, he's not even, the name is also not significant. So look at the way the connections are made. So here again, you find dangerous people.
Raghav Chadda.
Yeah, Raghav Chadda. The way these people get together, and you can know how cunning they are. Okay, moving on to the next piece of news. Atul Kulkarni is known for his acting chops and is one of the finest actors in Bollywood, who has shown his worth in projects like Rang De Basanti, Hey Ram, and Bandish Bandits. However, the actor donned a writer's hat for Lal Singh Chadda, starring Amir Khan, and as we all know, the film sunk miserably at the box office. The actor opened up about the box office failure and boycott trends in an interview. Years after being in front of the camera, when Atul became a writer for Hollywood's film Forrest Gump's Hindi remake, there were a lot of hopes, but the boycott trend hampered the film's business quite a lot. In an interview, he said, I've been in the industry for a fairly long time and I've experienced such things. Every time you start a project, you think people will like and love it. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. So you cannot change the texture of the profession. He further explained that the boycott trend had revealed, I think it should be completely left to the audience to decide whether they want to see something or not, be it a film or a painting. No one should dictate what I should consume. Talking about the politics that's happening around the world and how it's affected by it, he said, one should not neglect politics. I get deeply affected with what's happening, not only in the state but across the globe. You cannot and shouldn't shrug it off, because whatever you do in life, at the root of it all is politics. It dictates everything that matters to you. So, here, friends, I'd like to, before we go on to the Salman incident with Mamta, I'd like to show you. Jatin, can we go to the PPT, where I want to speak about the Illuminati? Can you please put that? Yeah, Mel Gibson. Yes, yes. Yeah. So here, friends, just see what Mel Gibson has said. For people who are on social media, I would like you to follow Isaac's army, who exposes Illuminati every day, who exposes Soros every day. Now, here, see what did uh, Mel Gibson say? Worldwide, children are stolen and sold to pedophile rings. They are tortured, raped, and murdered as part of a satanic ritual ceremonies. The murderers then drink the children's blood and eat their flesh. The blood of children who were severely traumatized before they died contains adrenochrome, a natural drug produced by pineal gland in the brain. Adrenochrome is the highest valued drug in the world. The god these people serve is Satan. It's not the god of love and mercy. Okay, so this is one. This is what we've been discussing for so many in so many. What? No, Jaydev. Let's go to the next image also. So this is something we've been discussing, friends, with regards to Illuminati. Yes. Now here, friends, I want you to see this tweet. I wonder, Isaac says, I wonder what sick, painful satanic ritual these creatures had to go through. Nothing is a coincidence. So you will see here the legs have been broken and they're all holding crutches. So this is, if you go to the street, you will see that so many actors and actresses are walking with crutches, same kind of injury. Okay. Now here, what I would like to say is what Isaac has said. What sort of procedure have they undergone for them to, be wearing this? This is very disturbing. That means in the satanic rites or Illuminati, they are making them do certain things to self-harm themselves in order to prove their loyalty. So for those who are on Tritrati, please follow Isaac's army. Another very, very brave thing that he has just exposed few, I think a few hours before, is that about a famous journalist. You will see in his tweet. Where, can you, if you, Jaidev, just open that, if you can open it and see, in which the lady is being questioned. And not this one, another one. Yeah, we'll have to go to his, the other person's Twitter handle to see that. Yeah,
Yeah,
Isaac's
that's
army.
it.
Okay. So here, what I want to tell you is that that journalist has been asked, about Obama and his wife, Michelle. And this lady openly says she's a trans, you know. And the speaker asked, "What did you just say?" Yes, Michelle is a trans. So not this Jaidev. It's in his tweet. Okay. So can you imagine? In fact, somewhere I saw a picture of Michelle looking like a man, with a mustache and wearing men's clothes. So that came as a very huge surprise, and this man is claiming that, Isaac. So if you please go through his tweets, you will find very, very interesting things. Because earlier also they said that, see, Obama has gay tendencies, it was reported, and that he would call for young men into the White House. So these were things I could not believe. Now, more and more proof is coming out. When a top journalist like that lady, I'm not getting her name, um, when she says openly, you know, that he married a trans, then suspicion is very, very high. Similarly, he's also exposed Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks, he says, he's shown images of that, has a liking for young children. And so he was apparently he was also arrested. He's shown some tweets on that as well. Now this is very surprising for us because I would consider Tom Hanks one of the best actors in Hollywood. The way he gets into a role is he sinks into it. He becomes a character. And when you see that this man has got such affiliations, you get scared. You know. And here, I would also like to tell you, friends, a warning to parents. about something that's happening. Uh, Meanwhile, Jaydev, you could just cover the Salman Khan. Let me just get the story which I wanted.
Yeah, so coming to the next piece of news, and it's quite interesting that Salman Khan has, recently met Mamata Banerjee, and apparently, so why did he meet Mamata Banerjee at this point of time? Now, Salman Khan has, paid a courtesy visit to Mamata Banerjee at her residence in Kaligat, and he reached her residence at at 4:25 p.m. And apparently, the actors came to participate in the East Bengal Football Club's extended centenary celebration to be held. And he spent half an hour at the chief minister's office residence, which is Mamta's residence. And with these photos, you can see how close Mamta Didi is with Baijan, right? And the same Mamta Didi, she put a ban on the Kerala story, but in this case, you can see her the kind of closeness which is being shown in this photos, right? And you can see how there is so much of double standards when it comes to film stars and film content with certain chief ministers. Yeah, the way things are going, you wonder whether people would be bought the book. Exactly, Arjun. And at the moment, it looks very, very, it's very, very dull picture because Rabia Khan, had a very unfavorable verdict, and it looks like she has given up on her cause. And also with regards to the SSR case, nothing is happening, no updates. Disha Salian case, and Parambir Singh is let go just like that, and all the charges. So hi Mohini,
Yeah.
hi
So,
Divided
friends, I would
Street.
like you to look at this tweet. Okay, the biodata of George Soros, favorite of Congress Party, donor of most of India media portal, activist, civil societies. Now you get the answer. Look at the tweet. Why Soros funded left liberal gang of India hates Hindu civilization, festivals, customs, and supports ISIS, PR. Now, see, Elon Musk has very clearly said, you assume they are good intentions. They are not. He wants to erode the very fabric of civilization. Soros hates humanity. So you understand, this is why they are doing everything to promote unnatural practices. Okay, so that's why I brought you the other 2 points as well. Now, friends, I want to take you to a very, very uh, shocking news that I got, I received. So this I would like, and mainly this is to warn mothers and fathers and relatives. In the greater Toronto area, pimps are preying upon international girl students at educational campuses, street corners, bus stops, workplaces, and even religious places. So it is also a fact that some girl students are entering the sex trade willingly to pay their expenses. It is estimated that a pimp can make over 200,000 yearly from a single girl, says Mrs. Sundar Singh, whose Toronto-based Elspeth Hayworth Center for Women is helping the victims stop their exploitation and get trained in high-paying skills. Now, friends, this I felt is a very important news, and that's why I'm, sharing it with you. In Toronto, the Indian international students in the GTA are increasingly falling prey to pimps and drug dealers. And the worst part is they are being exploited mostly by people from their own Indo Canadian community. The arrest of three Indo Canadian young men from Brampton in August for trafficking an 18-year-old girl in the sex trade is just the tip of the fast spreading sex trafficking of Indians, girl students in the GTA. In this particular case, the Indian origin girl was held captive by three men and were passed around in sex trade. There could be more victims of these men since they were advertising sexual services online. Indo Canadian social activists at the forefront of the fight against human trafficking admit that sexual exploitation of girl students from India is increasing in the GTA and beyond. There are also reports of an upping in the number of students seeking termination of pregnancies. Please bear with me, friends. I'm just opening each. Yes. So, continuing on that, a nurse acquaintance of our family says she performs 10 to 12 abortions involving Indian students each month. She says she never saw anything like this before, says an elderly Indo-Canadian resident of Brampton. Sadly, it's also a known fact that many students are willingly entering the sex trade to pay their expenses. Part of the problem is that most of these girls are away from their families. For the first time in their life, they are free. Since they stay together, one bad apple may spoil the others. This is happening, says Missy Sauga based Indo Canadian professional who advises international students on financial matters. Recalling a recent encounter, he says, a girl student living in an outlying city and working in Brampton was referred to me for income tax filing. When she came to me, I asked her to remove her mask so I could see whether she was the person whose work I was doing. But she said no. She said she keeps it on all the time. But the moment she walked out, she removed it. She didn't want to reveal her true identity. Ms. Sundar Singh, who, as executive director of Toronto based Elspeth Hayward Center for Women, is in the forefront of the fight against women's exploitation. She says the increasing sexual exploitation of girl students, particularly from India, is a new area of concern for us. We have come to realize that this problem runs much deeper than people know. At the Center for Women, Ms. Singh says that she and her staff actively track cases of women exploited by human traffickers and help them start life anew. Ms. Sundar Singh is the executive director of the center. According to Ms. Singh, the pimps are preying upon international girl students everywhere at educational campuses, street corners, bus stops, workplaces, and even religious places. Remember, 90% of international students coming to Canada are girls, and most of them are from India, particularly Punjab. These girls have been exposed to big cities and Western culture. They are new, and pimps target them. Ms. Singh also admits that some girls enter the sex trade willingly. It happens both ways, but mostly they are victims of pimps who can spot a vulnerable girl from a mile. These girls are new to Canada. They have no friends and families here. They are alone and they want to mingle and talk to someone. That is where the pimps come in. They begin with nice compliments to the unsuspecting girls, says Mrs. Singh. You will see a lot of the Kerala story pattern in this as well. Explaining the modus operandi of pimps, she adds, once a pimp gets acquainted with a girl, he starts showering her with gifts and precious things to insinuate himself into her trust. This ploy of showering gifts continues for a couple of months. Once he has won her trust, the pimp moves in for the kill. He asks the girls for a favor, which is something like this: I have a friend who's having a bad marriage time, and I want you to accompany him so that he feels better. If the girl refuses, she is reminded of the favors and the gifts done to her and persuaded her to agree. That's it. It just takes one night to start the girl into sex trade. By now, the pimp has got all the information about her family to blackmail her. She has no choice but to surrender. Speaking about the girl students who choose to enter sex trade on their own, Ms. Singh says many are forced by their financial difficulties to go down this path. Unknowingly, yes. So I already mentioned that these parents in India are pushing these girls into this terrible situation. These parents want their daughters to somehow they send them there, to into Canada so that one day she can. Just a second, friends. So that one day she can sponsor the whole family to come to Canada. They pay the initial expenses, first year fees, and travel, and then leave these girls to fend for themselves. Once they land in Canada, tell me how will these girls earn enough to support themselves? They cannot. Many opt for sex for money, argues Ms. Singh. A girl begins by serving one man and then another and making a lot of money. She finds it financially very attractive and she is hooked. Her friends who live with her follow suit. According to Mrs. Singh, when the next batch of international girl students arrives in Canada and starts having financial difficulties, these old girls are there to tell them that this prostitution is the way to make money. The word of mouth is very strong in the student community. These new students start standing at corners. There's a lot of wealth in Brampton, and pimping services can be easily accessed. Ms. Singh says this problem is spreading from Brampton to Toronto, Vaughan, and elsewhere. There are lots of hubs which are doing this business disguised as massage and beauty parlors. The problem is acute in Brampton. Why is the problem widespread in Brampton? Because the majority of girl students from India settle in a city which has a huge population from India and has many religious places, and the landlords allow multiple students to live in their basement. Ironically, says Ms. Singh, the sexual exploitation of many girl students begins with the landlords. Many compromise with landlords so they don't have to pay the rent. Sardare de Kaki. So, spoiled brats of the super rich with ill gotten wealth are landing in Canada from India. In the guise of students, they are taking big houses on lease, then bringing in 20 other boys and forming gangs. They own BMWs and Mercedes. They lure girls, it's all happening here. There was no such problem here till the massive influx of international students. Ms. Singh estimates that pimps can make as much as 230,000 from one girl in a year. How much does that girl get from the pimp? Nothing. All she gets is food and lodging because she's now his captive. She is being passed around. When she turns 24, she won't be in demand anymore. She is then left to do other chores for the pimp because she has missed out on learning professional skills to earn a livelihood. She explains. What's even worse, adds Miss Singh, is that girls cannot even escape because she will be killed by the touts of the pimp. Ms. Sundar Singh, and she's also worried that the pimping trend keeps spreading in the city, in the GTA. The future of more and more international girl students will be married. Brilliant girl students come to Canada with the dream of becoming skilled professionals, but instead many will end up without any skills because of human traffickers. The Center for Women has stepped in to help young women secure their future, says Ms. Singh. Our center runs programs for the youth to create awareness of the ever increasing human trafficking in the GTA. According to her, many international girl students are intelligent enough to become lawyers and doctors, but it takes years and lots of money to become a doctor or a lawyer. So, whatever little courses these girls take, it is all for fulfilling their dream of getting PR. The Elspeth Hayward Center for Women makes these students aware that the highest demand in Canada is for trade skills. We provide them with connections where they get free training in skills. After 3 to 4 years of education in skills without paying any money, they get well paying professional jobs. They get the Red Seal of that's a certificate, and they start with jobs paying up to $40 an hour anywhere in Canada. Ms. Singh says organization received calls from the construction industry to get them skilled people, and they were ready to pay $600 a day. Now, with the center, students with PR status can get trained in skills for very well paying jobs without spending much money. During their training, these girls can earn $20 an hour, and some even land full time paying jobs even during their training. So, this is something that I wanted to speak to you about, friends, because if you have relatives in Canada and if you feel they should be warned about it beforehand, this is something that you definitely need to do to protect our girls, you know, and especially after people have watched Kerala Story, you know, this is another modus operandi, you know, to spoil our women. Meenaji, this sounds so similar to that what happens to girls coming from small towns in Mumbai to try their luck in Tinseltown. Malad, Goregaon are hubs for parlors since many film studios nearby. Yes, absolutely. Alvina, Avina, peer pressure is high in kids, teenagers. Expensive dresses, parties are a clear attraction. Welcome, Winnie. Shreyas, divided. These guys are into scams and trap women with shining cars. Absolutely. Through gifts and so many other things. We're talking about million girls in a year. Can you imagine the kind of problem? When I read this, and especially after seeing, not only knowing, see, because I'm from Kerala, I know very well how love jihad has happened and how it has been, really bad for young girls in Kerala. So let me just take a few more comments, important comments. In Maharashtra, 5,612 girls missing. So, also in other states, many ex DGPs have corroborated, said they are used in women traffic prostitution where women are sent abroad or other states. Minors too. You remember, Maya, when one of the gentlemen who we had as a one of the panelists, he said that, see, in the coastal areas, it's very easy. They're put on boats and taken abroad. So these are all very dangerous patterns that we are watching. These powerful people, including so called celebrities, have been linked to kids since decades. I'm forced to think how big is child trafficking market. Increase of missing kids during COVID was very high. And you know who are the people who are looking after the ministry for women
Interestingly,
and children.
interestingly enough, has there been any big debate in the so-called mainstream media channels with regards to child traffic and how it can be, fought? Has there been any debate in, channels like Republic, in India Today, Times Now, right? Or as to who are the celebrities who are involved in this business, who are the politicians who are involved in child trafficking? You will never see that kind of debate. You won't see any sort of investigation. You won't see any sort of questions asked by the so-called mainstream media with regards to this particular topic of child trafficking.
And also, Jaydev, see, they are using adrenochrome and it is taken from children. And many of the top Hollywood actresses and actors openly say they are using this blood. Is it so difficult to find out from where they're getting it? And when you corner them, when the anchor asks them, from where do you get it? Oh, from some small children from some faraway countries. It could be your child, and they're put in these small cages. Shreyasa says in Germany they try to do this as well, but the German government has a strict control over these people. That means it's a good government, Shreyasa. See, if Toronto, in Canada, if the Canadian government cannot take care of these things, I mean, it's very sad. Divided streets, we're talking about million girls a year. Let me just take a continuation. They are getting into car insurance scams too. Every international student boys have nice cars like Dodge Charger and Mustangs. Interesting. Jenny, we just take a few more of divided streets. Just take a few messages of it because he tends to break up the messages. Yeah. So I think that's what we are. Yeah. Maya says, Minister for Child and Women is silent on the missing girls, while she has ready sound bites on all the topics under the sun. Yes, and she prides herself on being very, what do you call? She can speak so well. Gift of the gab, all these things. Where does this gift of the gab go when women and children go missing? There apparently I was reading a case where a small girl around 11 or 12 suddenly went missing. You know, so the journalist has written that he was following that case very closely, and he when he looked at her background, she was being harassed by people in her house and from her own family, and she didn't have anybody to speak to, so she used to speak to some boys. And then one day she went missing. And then it was when he monitored, this journalist was very, very passionate. When he monitored, apparently this girl had been taken by these boys to a certain area. So the police were informed. And the police actually trailed her and they rescued her from a brothel. So there are a lot of people who are doing good work. See, my request to all of you is that, see, the moment I saw this piece of news, I said I must share it with you because there are many of you who are listening and who will share this news with many others because This is the only way we can protect our women. Tell mothers and aunts and uncles and all that. Please do not send your daughters just like that. They cannot survive without money in these countries. So they'll have to go down to the oldest profession to survive. Anuradha, my mind is completely blown. Thank you for sharing important news with us. Thank you very much. Big news channels never dare to raise voice against rackets, but I feel rotten. People are present everywhere. See, one thing, Anuradha, is that see, you've taken the time to listen to us. Please share this news. Share it as much as you can. And if you're a important part of social media, spread the news so that see, for example, I don't know anything about Canada, and I'm sending my daughter or son the first time to Canada, I will not know what is happening in Canada. So I need to be informed about it. So many parents do not know. They are coming from rustic backgrounds. So they do not know. So it is very important that we keep on educating our people to protect our people. Young girls are innocent, you know. And once they come from such high moral backgrounds that even one lapse on their part, they think that they are, it's like they're dead. Where organizations like this one that I mentioned, this lady, they are helping them to develop skills and join jobs. So when people are there to actually get you back into normalcy, see, women have, as it is, a lot of stigmas. On top of that, these sort of stigmas also, which means that see, they need help badly. So let us help people. Don't think it is somebody else's daughter. In the case of the minister, what was it? When her daughter fell into boiling hot water, in the case of the silly Soul Cafe, she went like a tigress after Congress and ensured that the case was closed. Did she go as a tigress when it happens to other children? Just now, Maya gave the statistics of how many children are missing in Maharashtra, which has the highest percentage of kidnapped children, trafficking of women and child. Why is this not an issue with the ministers? Did the minister bother about that? Did she fight like a tigress when she found these statistics? Or is she only restricting herself to Delhi? Even in Delhi, you had Aftab case and so many other cases. Did she even give lip service? No. Meenaji, it's so shocking about Canada. Thanks for sharing. I'll definitely spread the news. Yes, Nina, I felt this is very important because many of our viewers are from abroad, outside India. And many of you don't know what's happening. I mean, see, I knew about the UK case of grooming gangs, Pakistani men who were coming to UK and grooming young girls, mainly British and Sardarnis. So this was spread by a very, very, sort of dynamic person called Tom Robinson. And he was jailed for that. Can you imagine? He used to identify these men and make sure that cases were going against them. So, what was the modus operandi there? The modus operandi was that these girls came from troubled backgrounds. So, she would be a 12-year-old girl or a 13-year-old girl who came from a troubled background. So, these Pakistani men would stand in the corners of their schools and give them gifts and make them feel very valuable. So these girls who were, had psychological problems, they would get a lot of gifts. And once the gifts, started becoming profuse, then they would start their other say, and they would say that, see, let you come to my house, and they would take them home. And the young girl, being gullible, would not realize that these people share flats or houses, and there would be around 10 men, and she would be raped by all of them. And on top of that, she would be doped, which means she would be drugged so that she would not know and she would not scream. So what happened was the girl would not say, tell anybody because of the, fact that people will not believe her. And her father and mother anyway are not in touch with her. So it is in such complex matters that these girls are trapped. In one case, I had earlier also mentioned it. A young girl was taken to a park in UK, and there these Pakistani men made money. So you had a long queue of men using her. and she was vomiting and she was throwing up. They didn't care. For her, for them, it was a piece of flesh, and she was only 11 or 12 years. Okay, so this is the case with the UK girls, also the Sikh girls. As you know, Sikh families are very, very protective, and they care a lot about morality. The same way they started, because these girls are very pretty, and these girls were trapped. And once they are trapped, they cannot even confide with their parents, because their parents are the type that who will even kill their children if they become immoral. They are very strict. So this grooming gang was completely exposed by Tommy Robinson. Many of them are facing jail, and you also know that the Prime Minister is taking a very stern stand on these cases. So please, friends, the more you spread information like this, protect our women. Our children are innocent. When they go to study, they think everything is hunky dory, you know. So this is our duty, and I hope we will do that. Ma'am, law internationally is strict. Still, all of this happens and nothing comes out in the open. It's very strange. Fifth Estate, a channel which tracks murder, disappearances of Indians in Canada. Latest was illegal immigration, where an entire Guju family perished in snow while crossing Canadian-US border. Yes, Maya. Yesterday I told you about two students who from the same college who were mysteriously killed. So this news doesn't come out. None of our mainstream media will talk about this. But now the world has become very small because of social media. And you're hearing all this from us because the world has become smaller. You're listening to me from so many places around the world. And if it is your place, it is your duty to also help. Not sit back and just say, that's it, it won't happen to my children. Divided streets. Most of our Indian boys are into opium and weed and coke. I was also told that many students even in Bangalore, in medical colleges, are taking to drugs. Shreyasta, thank you, but don't be sorry. The takeaway was I must help more people. If anybody asks, so the faith in humanity doesn't die. Ma'am, yes, let us look at some more comments. The NRI weddings who come to India to find brides are big scams too. Thousands of disappearances have been reported, especially from Punjab. Anuradha says, my experience with Canada, I did a social experiment to understand mentality of fellow Indians, especially. Asked for a small help, not even a single person helped. It made me cry, knowing inhumanity. Absolutely, Anuradha. We understand. Sorry for, welcome, Vidya. Welcome.
Welcome.
Shreyasa. It's best to avoid such countries. Yes, absolutely. So, the Bollywood also promoted Khalistan supporters like Diljit Doshan, Jazzy B, Hardik Kaur. They have soft corners for anti-nationals or those with dark backgrounds. See, Kunzru and all of you. See, human beings are very, very susceptible to evil forces. So, with the youth comes innocence. So it's a duty of more mature people to advise the others, because see, you may be you may have lived in a country for a long time. When new people come in, it's better to advise them on the pros and cons. So at least they learn, and then it passes on. Any help, please understand, friends, help never goes wasted. You don't expect anything for your help. You may help somebody and then you say, okay, I need to be rewarded for that. No, rewards are always there, it comes slowly. But helping people will give such a good feeling in your mind. Even if you do something for animals, it always leaves you with a good feeling. Someone was telling me just a few comments before that, see, meditation is so important for those who are really very serious about meditation. Just like Dr. Ganesh said, start with Ganesh Strotam, okay, then go to Durga Strotam, and then finally go to Dattatreya Strotam. These three, if you can listen to at any time of the day, will help keep you very calm. Can you just take that again, Jaydeep, that comment by Nanda? I understand Indian agencies not taking action against N, but it's very similar in West. They don't bother. Girls and women raped, no death punishment anywhere. Very sad. Yes, Winnie. Long back, I had uh, on a couple of Hindi movies. I'd seen a couple of movies, Purab aur Pashchim and Desh Padesh. Years later, the reality is being repeated. Social media is showing it. Minaji, I'm so grateful to you for sharing this news. You're a blessed soul. Thank you, Nina. I always, Jaidev and me, always need your good wishes because that helps us become stronger. Amina, hope how this network works is very dangerous. Zubair is one such example. He's a part of the ISIS, Amina, for sure. He has been kept in India, in Bangalore, for this purpose. I heard he's a handler. And the sooner the Indian government realizes this and throws him out of India, the better. Because he is the one who put Nupur Sharma into problem. In the Western world, meditation has been replaced by medication. Let this not let not this solution grip India. Thank you so much, Meena, for spreading awareness. Thank you so much. I feel parents must be educated well because lack of proper parenting destroys kids' life completely. I hope proper measures are taken to be aware of them.
And that's why, Anuradha,
Anuradha.
we are
Yeah,
requesting you to share this video to as many people as possible because
yeah.
this story
One more
of,
point I would
yeah,
like to say before I close the session is that see I had got residency in New Zealand. Okay, mainly I had gone there some time back because I wanted my son to join medicine, and it apparently it was much easier there. And then when I went there, I realized that the somehow the ethos, the social ethos, doesn't work in our favor. A lot of what you call lack of morality, lot of things. And now see apparently you can get call girls to your houses at very low rates. So all these things were I felt very found it very frightening. And also see people in were not, as rather said, many of them are not helpful. So if you're alone and you don't have anybody to guide you, you can fall into a lot of problem. you know so recently I was just reading the news from New Zealand, and apparently these the people are have gangs now, these white gangs, which they are responsible for the crime, and even the police are scared of them. So can you imagine a lawless country? So let us not go to, as Shreyas also said, do not go to countries which are not friendly to you or do not follow strict rules. On waking, simply touch your parents' feet. It will instill all the great values without being taught. They'll all become an instinct. Absolutely. Shasta. Indian government has kept its eyes and ears mum. Hanuman protects all, says Vidya. Yes. So with that, we end this session. We've gone a little overboard today. So thank you, friends. Good night and Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.